and we knew that everything is going to work out right by the time.
Yes, let's believe that the energy aligned very when it should have been.
True.
Okay, so let's jump into it. I'm really very excited that we managed to bring this together and just to see how many people aligned with our view, approach, and mission and the whole thing. I did not believe that people need that much of energy and marketing together. So really excited, like
Yes.
over 200 people signed up. So very grateful for that. So, okay, let's start then, right? Because we have a system in place, obviously.
Yes, of course. The strategy.
Yeah, obviously, we're not just doing stuff like that. And well, so good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today, for dedicating your time to this. We are really excited to welcome you to our webinar. And our goal is to put into perspective how important it is to have a great marketing strategy, a system in place, but also Sofia, you're there?
Yes, I lost you for a few seconds, so let me catch up with you. So where are you? Because I missed that.
Yeah, so we are at the intro part. I was just saying how exciting it is to put in perspective that the marketing strategy and the system.
Okay, I hear you. I'm here. So first of all, yeah, hi to everyone from me as well. And personally, I was waiting this moment like a kid. We had the same vision with Melinda. We came up with this idea. We discussed about strategy and energy for not only for doing this, but for doing this together. And I'm super excited of what's coming next. And I hope everyone in the audience finds it interesting and useful at the end of the day. Because can you hear me?
Yes, no. I cannot believe our bad luck that the first live stream goes this. It doesn't matter. So, okay, so before we dive in, so let's share a bit what brings us here and why we choose this topic, right? So, hi everyone, my name is Melinda. I'm a marketing strategist and I'm the founder of Mel's Digital. For the last 7-ish years, I have been helping service providers, coaches mainly, and entrepreneurs to grow their visibility online through content, SEO, different growth strategies, but above all, strategy, right? So for a long time, my
Yeah.
approach was all logic, all structure, all strategy. And on paper, it worked really well. But in reality, it actually burned me out. Her. So when we started talking, I was like, usually the question comes up like, what do you do? What do you do? And I was the one with the strategy. I told her I'm doing social media marketing and I do this and that. Like I had a whole strategy in mind. And she was like, I help people energetically align. And I'm like, wow, how do you do that? And she said that she also works with marketing, but she took it from the other side. She actually helped people to align their energy. And I was like, we should work together one day. And then we didn't manage to meet for months until we actually managed to meet. And then we started meeting often. Just please excuse me. I'm trying to figure out. She's trying to enter. Okay, I'm really sorry about that. We're having technical issues, obviously. Okay, so I would have loved Sophia to share her part of the story as well. Everything makes much more sense, especially for the audience when they understand why marketing and energy is so important and why you cannot have just a strategy, why you also need to have energy work behind it. Because with a strategy, you can easily burn out and you won't reach your goals actually. Because you will just run like an automatic pilot and trying to reach those goals. You will have a system in place, but your energy will not align with that system basically. And so after meeting with Sophia, how did we actually got here? For me, business and marketing always meant logic, structure, and systems. And I believe that if I work hard enough and I make the right strategy, which I'm really good at, stayed consistent, and then success was just guaranteed. Like success will fall on my lap and everything will happen smoothly, you know. But it didn't happen like that. And obviously, on paper, it worked everything. I helped my clients. My clients actually grew while I was burning out. I managed to build visibility, and I was known for creating order out of chaos. And I'm still known for that, even for today. Like systems are my. Oh, welcome
I'm
back.
back. Okay. We got
Okay,
that.
so listen, I gave a short intro about you, but I didn't do justice. So
Okay.
please tell people why you're here, who you are, and what's your magic.
Thank you so much. First of all, sorry about that. It's happening. So, for those who don't know me, hi, my name is Sofia. I go after the title of the Modern Alchemist. So, I'm a life strategist, I am an NLP coach practitioner, and I'm currently working on business energetics. So, it's basically the Modern Alchemist is a transformational coaching space where I help people and entrepreneurs like transform things into their businesses and their lives. And so for years, I was living in the corporate world. I studied economics, I was working in fintech. Um, then I did a couple of other things, freelancing, social media, art, fashion, and lots of things. So we don't get bored. But but then I stepped into my real power and found my true purpose, which is to help people transform the way I did. So long story short, I left the corporate world without a plan, without a strategy, just by a belief. And this belief was that everything will work out and that energy works, and it did. It worked. But the struggle was that it didn't work as soon as I thought it will, and the results did not come like without the strategy and without the real plan. So this is what I do, and this is who I am, and this is my story. Long story short, and the universe did its magic. So I met Melinda, and it was actually what I needed at this point of my business, of my progress, and she gave me the clarity I needed. So here we are today.
And before you came back, I was just telling them how I was always all about logic, structure, and systems. Okay, like that
Exactly.
was the engine behind me that actually burned me out at one point. And so after I met you, and I had other great people in my life who were a lot about energy and less about structure. So meeting all these people and meeting you, it actually led me down a new path, right? I started exploring much more with energy work, and I actually understood what was missing behind my work because I worked so much with so little success. And I actually realized that I don't need to throw away strategy, although they say that 80% of the success is based on our energy. I just needed to bring some soul behind it so I can still keep my strategy, I can still teach people strategy, but I can also put now soul in it, and it not just makes me happy, but it aligns with me. And I'm sure that a lot of people on this live stream can relate. to this, because I meet so many people that just hustle, 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 and they don't get the results. And often people are asking, like, or wondering, like, why, like, I did everything that it says in the big book, and why it's not happening. It's not happening because the energy is missing, or there is no strategy, or both.
Exactly. And this is what we always discuss, that especially in the point that someone starts its own business, right? Like from scratch, without, they have the knowledge, they have, let's say, the sources they need. But the most common mistake we both see is that when you begin, is either you put so much like focus on strategy, on plans, on structures, on systems, and then you just forget why you started, or you're too like into energy, everything will work out, everything will flow magically, something will happen, and then you actually forget to implement what is going to make your business become alive at the end of the day.
Yeah, that's I totally relate to that, and it's shocking how many other people relate to this as well. So let's say that's our backstory. How did we got here? And this is why this is the topic of today. But like, let's zoom out for a moment. Because what I've seen again and again when working with people and businesses, business owners of all kind, actually, small and big businesses, is that the same pattern shows up for everyone. And at one point, we realized with Sofia that these patterns show up not only in strategy, marketing, or any other business, actually, but also energetically. So, this is actually where our work met. And most of the business owners I work with aren't failing because they're lazy or because they don't care about their business, because they simply get overwhelmed. And we get overwhelmed and we get burned out because what we are doing, it doesn't align. I see people that they are trying to do everything. We live in the age of AI, and people are running after any tool that can solve the problem. And often we spend way too much time testing out new tools, or we are chasing every new trend, or people are telling us, you should do this, you should do that, you should. And you just get burned out and it leaves you exhausted. So, from this experience, I would say that the top three struggles that I met in business owners, and again, I'm sure that a lot of you relate to this since you're here. So, the first of all, it's overwhelm. Like I said, it's too many tools, there are too many shoots, and you don't know who you are in the core, what's your energy, what your business needs, how you will get to your goals. The second thing that I see very, very often is posting consistently but with no traction. This mainly happens, again, there is no strategy, no energy, you don't actually know your direction or who you are, and you just copy some other people. You see that, wow, that post got like 100 likes, I want the same, so let me just copy it. Well,
Exactly.
this is not going to work, right? And the other thing, that this is a modern world problem, that everybody goes to ChatGPT and will tell ChatGPT, can you make for me 10 posts to be this and that? But you don't know who you are and what you want to say, and ChatGPT comes with their delusional idea.
Yes. Here,
So you
take.
exactly right. So you
Exactly.
end up posting consistently, and there is no traction in what you're doing, but you're posting for months or years. And while these two struggles does sound bad, the third one is even worse than this. It's actually a lack of clarity in your audience and messaging, which will lead to wasted effort. And this is the biggest problem, because if you don't know with who you're talking and what's the message that you want to give to them, nobody will relate. The energy won't align like how it aligned today with this webinar for us. It won't align for the people that they don't know all this. So
Okay.
when your message and your audience doesn't align, you can put in so much effort, but it will never turn into results. And what I love is that if we look deeper, these are actually connected to the energetic. It's a pattern. You will see this on a surface level in your strategy or in your goals, but you will also see that in your energy. And actually, this is where Sophia's magic connects all of us.
So thanks for mentioning those points, actually, because I see the exact same points, the exact same challenges and struggles while working with my clients, but from the energetic perspective. So you mentioned the overwhelm part, right? And that we have available so many tools, so much information, like every day something new, and so many gurus with different methods, and the 5-step methods, the 7-step methods, all of these, like we all been there, right? We bought so many of these. But well, don't get me wrong, some of them might work, but it depends on the kind of business that you're doing and what result you want at the end of the day. But the overwhelm part is because we have so much availability in new information and so many tools. And what I see is that people are working endlessly, right? But what I see is that they never feel that they're safe to achieve more and to receive more. So this fact that we have so many things available, it makes us burn out and start feeling that, we are not enough because we're doing something wrong. So here is where the limiting beliefs start kicking in, and all of the, the whispering of the imposter syndrome, like, am I enough? Like, who am I to be seen? Or who am I to be successful? So all of these kind of, all of these things, they kind of start kicking in when you have so much information that actually gets you disoriented. And by the time you start focusing so much on finding the right tool or the right method for you, you just lose your why you started. You forget why you started. And especially when you don't have the, the help of people like you, the strategists, that they take you by hand and they understand your vision, if they're good enough. Because again, we have this energy alignment that the other person needs to. We have some good comments here that we need to see later. So yeah. So this burnout thing and everything starts bringing all the limiting beliefs. And then you mentioned the point of posting consistently, but there is no traction. And what I see from my side is that we see brilliant voices or brilliant ideas shrinking because they are afraid to be seen, or they are over posting with no clarity. So from a space of no clarity, and nobody is just paying attention because they read it, but they cannot feel it, or they hear it, they understand it, but they cannot embody it, they cannot feel it. And to be realistic is that people feel. So if you know what you do, if you know what you say, if you pass this inspiration, this motivation, and this excitement with your ideas, they feel it. Either if you're online or even if you're offline, like even more with the face-to-face, right?
Yeah.
And you mentioned something earlier that people don't know who they are. So when we go to the part of the AI, and okay, obviously we're all pro, like it's going to solve so many like tasks and stuff that, they waste time, and we don't need to focus on this so much. But if I'm using AI consistently to create the ideas, the content, and everything, if I don't know who I am, if I don't know my values, my vision, if I don't embody my ideas, how the AI is going to, prepare the message for the people, right? Because it
there is
cannot.
the energy, right?
Exactly.
Sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, no, it's the truth. So what it comes after all with this is that we see the brilliant voices shrinking and the brilliant ideas shrinking because they feel that they are not enough, because we have enough content, enough ideas, everyone is successful and all of this, and they take a step back. So they don't put their selves in public. They don't share the ideas, or they don't begin this project, this business or anything, because they are fear to be seen, to be judged, to be criticized, to be seen. So this is the key word here, that visibility scares us. And this is not because only of the limiting beliefs, but because of the nervous system that is not ready, because we have memory and everything is stored there. So if we have the mindset, but we have a dysregulated nervous system, then we will have a clash. And if we have these two regulated and the energy aligned, then we're missing the strategy, right?
Yes.
And the last point, like the last challenge I see, is that there are entrepreneurs that they loop into self-doubt, which is again connected, but in a different way. So you mentioned the audience and the messaging, right? So here is a funny thing that I am sure you always get this question. So you have a client, right? And correct me if I'm wrong. They come in, you ask them, who's your target audience? Who's your ideal client? And it's like men, women, 18 to 65,
Yeah.
like everyone is the ideal client, right? So, okay, if we stick to demographics, right? You guide them that, this is not the right path to follow. They have to be specific. But if we get to business energetics, there is a different kind of questions we need to ask. So who's your ideal client? How do you want them to be? How do you want them to behave? What kind of partnership do you want to have? What kind of problems do you want to solve for them? Are you ready to solve this kind of problems for them or with them or to guide them? What values do they have and how do they react when there is crisis? Like, is the energy aligned? And like, if I was the client of my service or of my product, will I be happy with myself? Like, is the energy good? So when we don't have all of these answers because we don't have clarity, then we end up in loops of self-doubt. And also the fact that if we start doing the business that we have in mind, right? But it's not our purpose, not our vision, but we saw it somewhere and it's successful, right? And we start doing it, but we don't succeed. Then we feel that we are not enough. But the problem is not that we are incapable or unsuccessful, is that it's not aligned with our energy, our vision. So if this business succeeded for someone else, doesn't mean it's going to happen for me too.
Exactly. And I would like to add to this that, so I worked with clients that had a really bad social media presence, but they were having a really successful business, or their system wasn't really there, but they had a system. And before I met you and before I know the energetic parts, I was always wondering, how do these people pull it off? Like, it cannot be that content converts, But they were really aligned with their purpose, like the energy behind that work. They knew who is it, what it is, and they had so much passion to do that. Like, the strategy was just the 20% there. It did not matter. So,
what most people don't realize is that all these struggles don't mean that you're broke, that you're broken. It means that your energetic field is out of integrity. And there is a special example I want to share, because there is this person in the audience. I'm not going to share who, but I truly admire this person because of many reasons. But one thing I really love is that this person is so successful at what he does, and it's like magic, because his audience is literally everyone, right? Like, it's one of these things. It's literally everyone. However, he aligns only with those that, they are energetically aligned with him. And also he does business like in a very magical way, because he's so aligned to his vision and to his purpose. So automatically everything becomes, very, very magnetic. And I love this to people, because when you manage, like, except the strategy, of course, because you cannot do things without strategy, right? But when
Please.
you're aligning into your purpose, and when you're aligning with the people you want to attract, then voila.
Yeah, magic just happens, right?
Exactly.
Um, Before we continue, I'm very curious to see the people that are here. Are they more towards energy or more towards strategy, or in
Nice.
between? I would love to meet people in between.
Let's see.
Can you
Yeah.
just, yeah, drop a comment for us? Where do you stand? I am in between now.
I am too, and I think that's the balance.
Exactly. In life, everything should have a balance. I think Sandra is here and she taught me that. So thank you.
So we have here a comment: burnout is the keyword, as I can hear, is the main cause of failure, as you're relying things to. How about
What do you
that?
think? Definitely, because okay, in order to reach to burnout means that you're not aligned somewhere, right? Or you don't
Exactly.
have a strategy and you're just waiting for the Lulu energy to come in, or you have a strategy and you're just running after it like crazy. So if you get to burnout, then something is not aligned with you.
I agree. I totally agree. Let me just come back for a second, because I am in the chat. Okay, here. Okay, I hear
Okay,
you,
because
but
I
I
saw
couldn't
you're
see you. Yeah.
vanishing.
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
I was like, not again.
No, no, I was just reading the comments because I'm from my iPad. We did that.
So,
Uh,
what was, I'm very curious because we never discussed this actually. What was the moment for you when you realized that you're very tipped on one side?
well, when everything was feeling like a catch dream, it was more the but a nightmare, like without the results. So I'll tell you. I shared this before with you when we met, but it worth to mention the story here. So when I started from scratch, right? I had for months to read new things, learn new things, go through many, many new things that they were unfamiliar, right? And that's the beauty of it, because you learn many things, many new things. But you end up like filling different positions of your company by yourself when you know that like by heart. So by the time I started trying to implement things that they were very, very new. And by the way, words like funnels, leads, converting, doing all this strategy, like, nah. But I found myself like overexhausted by learning new things, by trying to technically do stuff until I burn out. And I felt very, very disappointed, because I was feeling I put so much effort, right? And so much energy into it, that I doubted myself many times. Like, is this like real my purpose? Because I have the energy, I have the vision, but it seems that it doesn't work out. And I don't feel I'm stupid not to, succeed in what I do. Like, they're basically basic things that I just need to place as a puzzle, and just, fix the puzzle and do things. But yeah, it was when I felt like I was about to give up. So this was the moment that I was like, okay, I really need to focus and understand what I'm doing wrong, or what I need to do differently. So this is when I met you, and clarity came like ta ta ta.
Like we do strategies now.
Yeah.
For me was like I hustled so much and I wasn't getting what I wanted. And at one point I lost everything. And I I sit back 4 or 5 months were very difficult 4 or 5 months, and I was like, I did everything. I had a strategy, 5 year plan, all that. Okay,
Oof.
very Aquarius of me, right?
Yeah.
So, and I had to sit back, and then I met you, and things were kind of just driving me to understand that. I cannot go back to what was before, and strategy won't solve the problem. And I realized, okay, there is much more to energy than I actually thought. And since I started practicing those things, my life got a huge turn, and I'm very excited.
I love that both of us, we had the thought of, no, I'm not going back again.
No, definitely
Like,
not.
I will make this work.
Okay,
And
so I think we
yeah,
discussed the problem, and it's about time that we actually give some things that you can do to avoid all that.
yeah.
Um, so I would like to give you a taste of the solution. I have a lot of solutions in my mind, but I cannot actually. It doesn't fit in the free time that I have here.
I want to pause you for a second and share the joke that, whenever you think of Melinda, it's like solutions. Every single time, like Melinda, solutions.
I'm such a solution orientated person, and sometimes I have to step back, and I was like, I don't need my logical brain now, right?
Yeah.
But but I'm going to give the solutions now anyway because I have to. So just the fact that Sophia and I came from so opposite ends, and we met in the middle. Like I was all structure and she was all flow, and our energy met, and we found useful the two things that we are actually so opposite in. And so, if I would give one strategic shift today, I would take this approach that you should start building your marketing around the dream client. Most of my clients who came to me, they had in their mind built up a dream client avatar. They were trying to target the dream person for months and even years. And the thing that you should actually do is just pay attention to the real people who are already engaging with your content. And okay, if you already have some audience, obviously it's easier. And to understand who is your audience and what they need, even just a few comments or a couple of clients that you had and you felt aligned with it, if you study them and find the patterns, that's how you find your real clients. And if you're just starting out and you don't actually have engagement, just go look at your competition. Like everything is there. It's literally a gold mine of insights just by analyzing some data. And no, you don't need to do market strategy and all those things, not at all. Just pay attention to some patterns. And if it would be me, starting from the beginning or trying to understand my strategy and not yet having a budget to pay for someone to do that for me, I would analyze my own or my competitors' online presence, and I would check who is already showing up. I would check who is in the comments constantly, who is liking those posts, who aligns with that, and trying to understand this audience. And then I will look for a pattern. When I do this for my clients, I always do that. When you figure out the pattern, you will understand who is the right target audience. And when you figured out all this in a nutshell, you will actually align your message because you will understand what is the struggle of that audience, how you can solve their problem, what is the problem solving that aligns with your soul, and then you align your message to solve those problems. I know this sounds easy when it's said like that, but if after this webinar you actually sit down 10 minutes and you go through this, you will find it that it's much more easier to do it than usually marketing makes it sound like. So instead of forcing the content for the audience you wish you had, just double down on the ones who are already resonating with you, with your energy. Of course, that doesn't mean that you have to lower your standards. It just means that you have to build up momentum where the energy is actually flowing. And Sophia will agree with me that when your energy shifts from chasing an imaginary audience, you actually end up connecting with the real ones. So your marketing starts to feel clear and easier. You'll be much more effective. You won't burn out. You will feel aligned. You will feel happy. You will get clients and you will get bookings or whatever your service is that you're selling. So if you don't know your audience, you cannot start doing anything. Like it doesn't even make sense because that's the base of a strategy and some of the energy. What do you think, Sophia?
I totally agree. And let's tell people about the new member of the marketing team. not to forget it, which is their nervous system, to always carry it with them, right? Your new bestie. A regulated nervous system. But yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying. And it's good that, you know, you describe very clearly this, so people can take it away, like especially after this webinar, you know, they can use this information, and it brings so much clarity. And you said, yeah, it might sound easy, but with little effort and a bit of belief, you gave them the right direction to, you know, to find the right audience or what they're looking for. So I'm going to use one of the energetic compass I have in the Business as Ritual program, which is launching soon. But me and Melinda already have tried a few things. So let's see how it will work here. So the energetic compass I will use is the clarity attracts and pressure repels. So I want you to think about the last piece of content, or the last offer you did, or the last deal you did, or the last business idea you had, that you did it out of pressure, right? So think about it, okay? And try to remember what energy it carried, okay? Because we're here to basically share the knowledge about how to sit with ideas, with feelings, and how to proceed from there. So I want you to think of that last time that you action out of pressure, okay? So I invite you all to close your eyes, and let's do a bit of breath working. So take a deep breath in, hold for 3 seconds, and exhale. And now I want you to take a deep breath in, hold, and exhale. And let's do it one more time. Take a deep breath in, hold, and exhale. And now I want you to bring this moment in your mental screen, okay? So I want you to think of that moment that you reacted and you created out of pressure. So notice how you feel it in your body. It might feel like heavy, tight, pressure. And now I want you to recall a time that you did something out of excitement, inspiration, motivation, like pure clarity. Because, you know, you didn't want to hold it for yourself. You wanted to share it with the world. Okay? So bring this image in on your mental screen. So make a picture of it and see how it feels. And now think and ask yourself inside, would you repeat it the same way? Would you do it anyway, even if people don't like it, don't accept it, don't approve it? Would you still share it? And does it feel like clarity or pressure? So now I want you to think of your next piece of content, offer, investment, deal, action. So create this image on your mental screen. See yourself. See how you move, how you feel, how you speak, how you react, and notice how it feels on your body. So if this feels like it comes from clarity, then it's a yes. But if you find yourself like difficult to, digest it, then it's definitely pressure. So take a deep breath in, exhale, and think of your next time, something new that you're about to do, okay? See yourselves, feel the feeling. Perfect. So now you can come back. Cool.
Okay, we did this before and it always has the same effect on me.
And imagine if we do the full of it, right?
I can't wait.
Yeah. So what we did, just to explain a bit, is that there are multiple things that we're doing here. So first is we're regulating very quickly our nervous system. And our nervous system is dysregulated because we live in a very fast-paced world. So many distractions, so much pressure. Even the way that technology progresses, it puts so much pressure on us, right? There are so many expectations from us. And then, we have to live our normal lives as well. So this is a very simple exercise. So breath work, anyone can do, anytime, any time of the day, anywhere you are. So I invite you all from now on, when you want to regulate your nervous system, to stop, to pause, and take a few breaths in. So the second thing is that we have to embody our ideas, and we have to learn to sit with our feelings. And what we mean by that, because we hear this a lot lately, especially like if you're on socials, like you hear this a lot, like sit with your feelings, just sit with your feelings. Like how
do we do that? Right?
So every time you want to take action or make a decision, you just place yourself in a quiet space, do a bit of breath work, and try to imagine the result or the action you're about to take, or the idea you have, or the offer you're about to create, or the piece of content, and notice how it feels. First, like the easiest thing is to feel it on your body. So how your body feels. If it rejects if it's going to reject it, then you will understand. You will feel the pressure, you will feel the stomach very heavy, the shoulders shrinking. There is so much pressure, right? But if it comes from clarity, from flow, then it should feel good, right? And
How do
then,
we, sorry for interrupting. How do we
yes.
decide from, like, it's easy to say that we check from where it's coming, but sometimes there is also anxiety and stuff. So just how do we decide if that's really
So that's a perfect question. And let me explain very quickly.
okay?
So how our mind works, right? We receive information through our senses, okay? So our brain has its own programming, either from trauma, our own experience, the programming by our environment, how we were raised, or generational programming. That it means that we carry all of the programming of our ancestors, right? So sometimes we have things that they are not ours, most of them. They're just, they are passed through our DNA. And we have to live with it until we find them and we reprogram. So we take the information and we progress it, and then we react. But when we have an idea or something that it makes us feel good, it's usually the first 3 seconds. So by the time you have a thought, okay, by the time you have the thought, the first 3 seconds, they are the ones that they show you like the reality of it. Is it something that is from my higher self, my true self, my purpose? So if it does, it's the first 3 seconds that you are going to feel excitement, that you're going to feel motivated, that you're going to feel boosted. It's this dopamine boost that you're getting. But after these 3 seconds, if you start thinking like, am I going to make it? Maybe I need more time. Maybe I need to think better. Maybe I need to have a better plan. Maybe it's not the time. Or last time I tried to do it, it happened this and this and this. So if these thoughts come up, then it's your ego. It's not your higher self. So your ego acts like a protective mechanism, right? And it stops you from exploring the unknown, which is good for the brain, by the way, when you explore the unknown, because new neurons are created.
Of course. Okay.
But what we need to understand here and see before we make the decision is, what type of fear do we feel? Is it the fear of the unknown, or is it the fear of the failure because of an example of the past? Because if it's the fear of the example of the past, then you come by experience, right? So
Sure.
you know more this time. So if you want to distinct, then you see the first 3 seconds. And then if the blah, blah, blah starts, then you know it's your ego holding you back from, pushing out of your comfort zone and, progressing.
Definitely. For me, the logical brain kicks in after the 3 seconds and tries to convince me, or I can do it, or I cannot.
Yeah.
And then the brain goes for structure after. It's like, okay, but if we do it, what's the system that we are going to do it in?
Exactly.
And then I learned from you and from Sandra as well that you just have to believe that the thing will align if it's meant to be. Like if the energy is there, then it will come together.
That's a very good, idea for a next webinar, maybe, if we have more, to dive deeper into this. But yeah.
So mainly that, because I see our time runs out and we had so many things to share, but we had a technical issue, and maybe this is what was meant to be shared for today.
Exactly. We had to hold ourselves back, not sharing too much.
And it wasn't on purpose. So if anyone has any questions, please share it with us. Thank you so
Hi,
much,
Alicia.
Alicia. Welcome.
So yeah, if anyone has, can you see the questions?
The thing is that from LinkedIn, the questions are delayed usually because
Yeah.
until they get to the streaming app, it takes a while.
One
But
one
we
thing
can
we go for it.
we can reply to the questions even after the live
Yeah.
ends. No, it's your turn. What do you want to say?
Yeah, no, I wanted to share that, we we ran out of time because of the technical issue, but together we have found like this balance in the formula we created between strategy and energy, and we see results. And the first guinea pigs were ourselves, right? So we tested
Definitely.
first on us, and then we tested on the rest of the people, let's say. But like what worth to be mentioned is that we have strategy and energetics throughout the day, like waking up in the morning and having like your to-do list or your goals of the day, or this hope that the day will be good and that you need to align with it, and give yourself some EFT tappings, and do your affirmations and everything. It's business energetics and strategy is not only about business. And because I know here we have people that they do not expose their businesses only through social media, but they have the traditional businesses. So we need to mention that what we do, it applies to everything.
Definitely. The business and the energy, no matter what you do, the energy is there and the structure is there, even if you're just organizing your life. So I think this is why it was such a mind blowing thing for me to find the mix of two. And when you find something that works, you want to share it with the world and you want to tell everyone, like, come, do this, look, it's working, it's magical, okay? It's not just delusion. Because the thing that I find often, so when I present to myself to people that I do marketing, so people expect from me this full business persona.
Yes.
But then I come with the energy stuff and people look at me puzzled. And the
It's
way how I do, yeah,
no
sorry.
go for it. No.
The The way how I break it for them usually it's do you know there is Wi-Fi, and it's all around you, but you don't see it and you believe in it. So why you would not believe in this? It's also energy.
And it works.
Yes.
It's funny how every time, we always discuss this, but it's funny every time we talk about energy and people feel that, we're shamans, like we're saging, like smudging sage every day. We're going on flying carpets, or we meditate like 24/7. Well, watch when the nerve hits. But I mean, this is not the way we handle energy, and combined with strategy, because for us both like align and go together. But there's so much science behind everything we do.
Yeah.
It's not just the fluff. There is scientific like research, scientific proof. There is so much like backup thing there. So here's my mother. Hello, mother.
Welcome.
How we know that the stress we're feeling is destructive or constructive. Okay, so you feel it in your body. If it's constructive, then it feels like butterflies. But if it's destructive, it feels heavy. It feels like a knife, it feels like it's draining you. But if it's constructive, you don't know where to start from. Like you have this urge to create.
You start with a strategy.
Exactly.
Okay. So thank you so much for your kind words. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
So we are running out of time. And unfortunately, LinkedIn just stops the stream when it reaches 60 minutes. So I want to thank everyone who joined us. We appreciate the support. Again, we apologize for the technical issues. It happens.
It
We
does,
try to
yeah.
make the best of it, right?
Well, we're authentic
But
and real, so
yes, our next one will be better.
yes. And do you
Okay,
want to
so
share with the people what they're earning after this?
I don't know. I forgot.
Yeah. So, so basically, we decided with Melinda. I put too much pressure on you. So we decided, because we ran out of time, but anyway, it was scheduled, that we're going to offer like a few free discovery calls for people that they're interested to learn more and to see what's this all about. And just we have 20 seconds. Maybe drop in the comments if you would love to see like a session 2. And we're thinking of creating more of these. So thank you, everyone. Melinda, thank you for making this possible with your strategy, because we had the vision and you made it real. You made it happen. So yeah, thank you, everyone.